Do you know about the foolish rich guy who blew his fortune on extravagant cars, homes, and yachts? Well, they usually follow a path where he experiences a windfall of cash, spends beyond his means, and plummets right into bankruptcy. This story is being played out on the biggest stage of all, planet Earth. Humanity is currently on a natural resource spending binge, and at the same time, more than 1 billion people go to bed hungry every night. Until we balance these inequities, we'll all suffer the consequences, from the price we pay for food to access to clean water. If this does not grab your attention, let's enhance your knowledge about our growing appetite for our planet's resources. So, what is an ecological footprint? It's a global measure of human consumption of natural resources against the Earth's capacity to regenerate them, and then to calculate for an individual, a nation, an activity such as manufacturing. So, what is our current situation around the world? Well, this isn't so great. Since the 70s, we have been in an ecological overshoot on resources annually, meaning our demands on nature is exceeding what the Earth can actually regenerate per year. As you see here, the ratios in red have been increasing each year, and in fact has more than doubled since 1961. Globally, our population has increased from 3.1 billion in 1961 to 6.9 billion in 2010, and our global ecological footprint has increased from 7.6 to 18.1 billion global hectares. At the same time, human demand has increased and the biocapacity has decreased, meaning there is a growing gap between our demand on the Earth and its supply. The global overshoot is largely due to the food, and especially the carbon footprint, which has been 53% in 2010. It only takes the Earth 1 year and 6 months to regenerate what we use in a year. To live like the average American, we would need 3.9 Earths. On the other hand, here are some interesting facts to consider. Americans waste food each year to fill 91 Empire State Buildings. Secondly, it took China just 12 years to double its GDP and India 17 years. Compare this to the UK, which is 155 years, you can now see the pace from which developing markets are growing. Thirdly, 70% of the world's population will live in cities in 2050, which is nearly the amount that are alive today. If we keep spending like this, by 2030, even 2 planets will not be enough. So what? What's all the fuss about having a good ecological footprint? Isn't it good as it indicates growth and development? Well, let's sit down on our thinking chair, strap on our thinking caps, and go back to the days when we were all kids. Didn't your mom ever tell you that excessive greenhouse gases can consequently lead to extreme weather conditions, such as rising sea levels due to the warmer temperatures causing glaciers to retreat, then ice sheets to melt and ultimately causing sea levels to rise? Or more wildfires being a result of higher temperatures and longer, drier seasons. What makes it worse is that this also reduces the forest's density, reducing its capacity to recycle carbon dioxide, adding to the vicious cycle where more forest fires would then occur, which contributes to the growing carbon dioxide emissions. What might also occur are growing deserts. This is due to the expanding jet streams, which leads to an expanding tropical belt. This sounds pretty good, as it sounds like more camel riding, but a problem with this is that deserts can expand into heavily populated regions, causing further constraints on land. Also, increasing temperatures would cause glaciers to melt, and as a result, the Earth's crust would spring upwards, causing mountains to rise. So, fun fact time, did you know that a sizable portion of Earth is underlain with permafrost? Well, not so fun fact time, the effects of global warming will cause this layer to gradually destabilize each year, leading to unstable grounds, which can possibly result in shifting railroad tracks, or the formation of ravines through the cracking of rocky peaks. For all of you animal lovers out there, excessive greenhouse gases also causes animal DNA and behavior to change. And finally, having a high ecological footprint can lead to stronger hurricanes and disappearing lakes. Therefore, if we don't want our world to end up like this, we should all listen to our mom and do our part to ensure we maintain a reasonably balanced ecological footprint.
There are 4 areas we can look at when it comes to measures we can adopt to reduce our ecological footprint: food, creating less waste, energy, and transport. Everyone needs food, so if we all make the right food choices, we can definitely make a considerable reduction to the overall ecological footprint. The biggest sources of emissions are from the beef, dairy, and chicken food groups. Evidence shows that the livestock industry contributes more greenhouse gas emissions globally than the transport sector, and the ecological footprint of vegetarians is estimated to be around half that of meat eaters. So, eat less meat and dairy. Going meatless for just 1 meal a week can make a difference. Always buy organic or locally grown produce whenever possible. Shop at our very own farmers market to buy local, in-season foods. Organic food uses minimal or no pesticides and fertilizers, so consume up to 40% less energy. The next time you reach out for a snack when studying, make the right choice and eat fewer processed foods. Pop your own popcorn instead of microwave popcorn. Make a salad. Put down that can of Coke and drink fewer soft drinks and make the right food choices today. Reduce, reuse, recycle. We have all heard this phrase countless of times, but do we really actively act on it? Firstly, reduce, which simply means to buy less. Try to get your things repaired instead of throwing them away. Don't buy books, go to the library. Ask for no bag when you buy something you can carry without one. For every 5 plastic bags produced, 1 kilogram of CO2 is emitted. If you really have to make purchases, buy products with the least amount of packaging possible. Buy Cadbury in bulk or in big boxes rather than in individual wrappers. Secondly, reuse. Donate old items to someone who can use them. Buy items that are not disposable and can be used over and over. Lastly, recycle. Recycle everything and recycle as much as possible. Recycle all your paper, glass, aluminum, plastic, and even electronics. Make use of the recycling bins around the school campus. Every small action you take to create less waste goes a long way. I'm sure you've all heard about energy-efficient appliances. This is a simple yet successful step that many of us have done to reduce one's ecological footprint. Well, how can we do it better? We can use low-flow shower heads, faucets, and toilets. Replace incandescent light bulbs with compact fluorescent lights. Dry your clothes outside or use a clothes drying rack instead of a dryer whenever possible. In the reading room or in the library, make sure all electronic appliances are turned off when not in use. Also, unplug your electronics when not in use, and to make it easier, use a power strip. Simple actions like this will help to reduce the class ecological footprint. Dreaming to own one of these? Well, think again. We should walk, bike, or take public transport to school and avoid taxis during a night out. Carpooling where you are going is too far. If you don't own and drive a car, on average you can reduce your total ecological footprint by as much as 20%. If you really have to, why not get one of these instead? Choose a hybrid or electric car which is not only fuel efficient but also has a low greenhouse gas emission. Planning for a short trip out this bank holiday or for your next summer? When traveling across countries or states, avoid short airplane trips if possible and opt for a bus or train instead. Flights cause a large and growing part of our collective footprint. It has 2 to 4 times the impact of CO2 emissions on climate change because it releases water vapor and nitrous oxide at high altitudes. In essence, there is nothing inevitable about the growing ecological overshoot. They are the sum of millions of decisions made with little or no consideration of the importance of protecting our natural world. However, in each case, there is and can be a better choice. Changing our course and finding alternative pathways will not be easy, but it can be done. Thank you.